So what's going on, family? I wanted to scour the internet and try to figure out, okay, what can we talk about today? And it's right in front of you. Yes, Craig Wright is not Satoshi. He didn't author the Bitcoin white paper. A judge has ruled. Now, how did this judge come up with his ruling? Well, he came up with his ruling based off the evidence throughout this COPA trial. Now, if you guys have saw my last video, which was about a week ago, we was on verdict watch, meaning that the case was about to be decided, and yesterday the case was decided that Craig Wright is not Satoshi Nakamoto. So now he can stop trying to run these litigious campaigns trying to sue people, calling him a fraud, saying that he is not Satoshi Nakamoto. This is the video that I did. Is Craig Wright really Satoshi? Telling you all that from the evidence that was presented during the court trial, that I felt that he wasn't going to win. I mean, a lot of the evidence that was pushed towards him, he kept saying that he's been set up. Someone's trying to hack him. His accounts and things has been hacked. But the biggest problem when you make those type of claims is that usually you need to name the individual that you suspect is trying to hack you or the one that's trying to set you up. He didn't do that. If that was a plausible thing that he wanted to place on the record, he should have dropped some names. He should have placed some individuals who he felt was trying to set him up, but then that will place him up for more defamation and more court cases. So that's why he just simply said somebody is trying to hack, or I've been hacked. Someone's trying to set me up on all of the evidence that was presented in the trial. Because COPA, they took Craig to court to try and stop him from suing developers and other members of the crypto community, claiming intellectual property rights over Bitcoin's technology. Well, now he can't do that because the courts has finally decided that he is not the writer of the Bitcoin white paper. Let's go down through this article real quick. Craig Wright is not Satoshi Nakamoto or the author of the Bitcoin white paper, a UK judge, James Mellor, said at the closing arguments in the Crypto Open Patent Alliance trial on Thursday. The evidence presented during the month-long trial was, quote, overwhelming, the judge said, adding that he plans to write a ruling detailing his conclusions. So he have even jotted down all of his rulings on paper yet, including that Wright did not create the Bitcoin system. Quote, I will make certain declarations. So he is declaring under the title of being a judge, which he is satisfied are useful and are necessary to do justice between the parties. Justice. So Craig Wright and all of his monetary backers who allow other people to be sued, they will be justice in between them and the people that they've been suing. First, that Dr. Wright is not the author of the Bitcoin white paper. Second, Dr. Wright is not the person who adopted or operated under the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto in the period 2008 to 2011. So maybe 2012, he put on that pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto. And third, Dr. Wright is not the person who created the Bitcoin system. So there's three things that this judge is going to declare. He did not write the Bitcoin white paper. He is not the person under the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto. And then the third thing, he is not the person who created the Bitcoin system. Oh, there's four things. And fourth, he is not the author of the initial versions of the Bitcoin software. So maybe he saw the white paper. He went back into his basement, his house, wherever he created this BSV code and created his own Bitcoin software that's named Bitcoin SV, Satoshi Vision. So yes, he did create a type of cryptocurrency and it's called BSV, Bitcoin Satoshi Vision. Any further relief will be dealt in my written judgment, end quote. This is what the judge said. COPA sued Wright in 2021 to secure a ruling to prevent him from taking legal action against developers and other members of the crypto community or claiming intellectual property rights over Bitcoin's open source technology. See, I don't think Craig saw that if you're going to throw stones, then eventually those stones could be thrown back at you. This is what this case represents. People within the COPA community, the industry titans like Jack Dorsey, MicroStrategy, Coinbase, Kraken, all these big backers, all of these big businesses threw a massive stone back at Craig so that we can finally end all of this. Because if you're really Satoshi Nakamoto, if you really wrote the Bitcoin white paper, then lay it all on the table now. So COPA sued him. For he can prove it, finally prove it, lay it out. Bring all your evidence to prove these things. Because Craig is running around crazy, rampant, suing people because they're calling him out, saying that he's not Satoshi, saying that he didn't create the Bitcoin white paper or the Bitcoin system. So he runs and sues those people. Well, now he got sued back. And as you can see from the result, from the verdict of the trial, even the judge sees from the evidence that was presented that he is not Satoshi Nakamoto. He did not write the Bitcoin white paper. Justice Mellor halted 2 other cases. Yes, like I said, Craig has been going around suing people, including one that Wright filed against Coinbase and Dorsey's block, used to be called Square, alleging he had database rights to the Bitcoin blockchain, which depended on the outcome of this COPA case. The conclusion that Wright is not Satoshi may influence the continuation of each of those cases. Yeah, because all of that evidence from this COPA trial can now be included in these cases that Craig is suing Coinbase and Block over. So Craig may have to drop these 2 suits between Coinbase and Block, because he probably won't win it now, considering the evidence that COPA has brought forward and the verdict from that case. How can he now win if he's alleging that he had database rights to the Bitcoin blockchain? Now, he may have database rights to Bitcoin SV because he's the creator of it. All right, cool. But for Bitcoin itself, he doesn't have, according to this trial, those rights. Quote, "This decision is a win for developers, for the entire open source community, and for the truth. For over 8 years, Craig and his financial backers have lied about his identity as Satoshi Nakamoto and used that lie to bully and intimidate developers in the Bitcoin community. That ends today with the court's ruling that Craig Wright is not Satoshi Nakamoto," a COPA spokesperson said in an email to CoinDesk. Wright declined to comment on the outcome of the trial. What? You think he's going to go and appeal? You think he's going to try to get the verdict overturned? Is he going to present some other type of evidence that he didn't do throughout this long duration trial that he should have did in the beginning if he did actually have this evidence? Why didn't he comment? Why did he decline to comment? Can't say Satoshi. James Mellor, I might be pronouncing that wrong, but you guys get me, announced what he planned to include in his written judgment. Wright's counsel opposed COPA's plans to seek injunctions against Wright to stop him, or that would stop him from ever declaring he is the Bitcoin creator. Yeah, COPA is trying to get an injunction from the courts to restrict Craig from running around still saying that he is Satoshi Nakamoto, that he is the creator of Bitcoin. COPA wants that as relief. Now, the counsel who is representing Craig is saying that such a prohibition is unprecedented in the UK and would prevent Wright from even casually going to the park and declaring he's Satoshi without incurring fines or going to prison. Well, look at that. So now Craig's attorneys are trying to run to the judge and say, look, judge, he can't even go out and say that he's Satoshi Nakamoto anymore. He can't declare that without him running across, incurring fines, or going to prison. Well, what has Craig been doing to the other Bitcoin community, the developers, the ones within the cryptocurrency space who's saying that he wasn't Satoshi Nakamoto? What did Craig do? He went out and sued those people because of what they said. Well, maybe this needs to occur so Craig doesn't go crazy again and start suing people. Now, the shoe is on the other foot. If he continues to go out saying that he is Satoshi Nakamoto or that he's the creator of the Bitcoin white paper, then he could get sued. Because he's not. The court decided and off of the evidence that was presented, stated that he's not Satoshi Nakamoto. So he could get sued. He could get fined. He could go to prison if he continues to do this. Now, Craig's attorney said that that injunction would be sinister and urged the court to consider a judgment that would not infringe on Wright's legal right to freedom of expression, adding that Wright should be able to tell his community who he says he is. Well, you didn't speak that when the other people in the crypto community said that he wasn't Satoshi Nakamoto. Do they not have freedom of expression too? Of course they do. But Craig runs out and sues them anyway. The people within the crypto community said that he did not write the Bitcoin white paper. He runs out and sues them. But what about their freedom of expression? Like I said, the shoe is on the other foot now. And now Craig has to tread lightly. What do you guys think? Because the price action of Bitcoin SV, you guys can see from the verdict of the trial, the market went down 10%. Even today, it's down 12.25% right now. So I think people who deals with Bitcoin SV can finally see the writing on the wall. This hurts Craig's credibility, at least in the extent that he is the inventor of Bitcoin. So now people will now think that Craig is a fraud, that Craig is a liar, that Craig doesn't tell the truth off of the evidence that was presented in this case. He will now carry that reputation going forward. It will now be written in the history of Bitcoin going forward that there was an individual named Craig who was running around suing people, and then in the end he got sued back and was found that he is not Satoshi Nakamoto. And it's been found that he did not write the Bitcoin white paper. And it's been found that he is not the creator of the Bitcoin system. That now will be etched in history. No wonder he declined to comment on this case and the outcome of this case. So now it's your turn. Give me your thoughts about this. Make sure you maintain the profitability. And as always, trade different.